Terrie-Ann, we create beautiful, stylish, and vibrant head wraps to help women feel confident and express their style and their vibe. We teach women how to style their head wraps confidently for every and any occasion. You can find us on our Facebook page at The Wrap Chick and also on our Instagram page at The Wrap Chick _. Our telephone number is 537-2384.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Sister Talk Live with Terrie-Ann. I know you were expected to see Terrie-Ann's face, but hold on, she'll be on soon. We are so excited to have you join us today as we continue this season where I'll be joining Terrie-Ann as we take you on a journey of unlocking your values, unlocking hidden treasures inside of you that we want to see blossom so that you can be empowered to live your fullest life. Today we are going to take you onto the topic of unlocking your rest. Yes, you heard me right. Unlocking your rest. Rest is so important to a balanced life, to a full life. It has so many benefits, and would you believe there are so many things we overlook where rest is concerned? But hold on, we'll jump into that interesting topic soon. But first, we'll have a word from our sponsors. I want you to like, I want you to share, I want you to call up a friend, grab a pen, some paper. You're going to be making notes. Join us in the comment section where we'll be having live conversations with you. Come on in, everybody. Remember, let your friends know as we take you on a journey of unlocking your rest. Chat with you soon. Bye. Excelsior is a finance coaching and micro business consulting company established to facilitate the creation of personal wealth through the practice of financial management disciplines and business creation. We personalize experiences by offering a suite of tailored services which would enable persons to achieve both their financial and business goals. We are inspired when you advance financially.
At The Wrap Chick, we create beautiful, stylish, and vibrant head wraps to help women feel confident and express their style and their vibe. We teach women how to style their head wraps confidently for every and any occasion. You can find us on our Facebook page at The Wrap Chick and also on our Instagram page at The Wrap Chick _. Our telephone number is 537-2384. Hello, beautiful people. How you guys are doing? Today we are going to be playing a game. And the name of the game is How Well Do You Know Yourself? So, Danisha, hello. How are you?
Hi, Terrie-Ann. I'm good.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful
This game is making me a little nervous, but okay, let's go.
Don't be. Listen to the rules of the game. Guys, I want you to play this game with us, right? Let's play this game. Danisha, listen to the rules of the game before you start overthinking.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. So, how well do you know yourself? I will be asking Danisha some questions, 12 questions. She has to answer the questions 4 words or less. Answer the questions 4 words or less, and she has 7 minutes to answer each question.
7 minutes?
7 seconds.
Oh.
7 seconds. 7 seconds. Sorry, 7 seconds to answer these questions. So let's go. What makes you truly happy?
My family. That's 2 words, so I'm good, right? My family.
Beautiful. What's your favorite book that you have ever read?
The 5 Dynamics of a Team by Patrick. The 5 Dynamics of a Team. Yeah.
This is so fun. How do you deal with fear? How do you deal with fear?
Kicking and screaming.
When was the last time you cried?
2 weeks ago.
When was the last time you cried?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. A pet peeve you can't stand.
People lying.
Okay. I was about to say, how good are you at keeping secrets?
Relatively good.
Okay. Consumerism or minimalism?
Minimalism.
Do you have any regrets?
No.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Fried chicken wings.
Your definition of adventure?
Doing something that scares me. Doing something scary.
Doing something scary? Amazing. That's amazing. How do you, this is a final question, how do people describe you?
Kind and firm.
That's it. How do you think it
Firm
was?
first. Firm first. So firm and kind. Genuine. Firm and genuine. Yeah, that's better words. Firm and genuine.
Firm and genuine. How
Yeah.
did you enjoy this game?
It was 7 seconds is not a lot of time.
How well do you know yourself? That's the name of the game. How well do you know yourself? Let's just say I'm adding this in now in 7 seconds.
In 7, I don't feel like I answered the pet peeve one right. I'm still thinking, is that my pet peeve? I don't know.
You don't know? My pet peeve is I can't stand to see people spit in public.
Okay, that makes sense.
That
okay.
turns.
Okay, yeah. I don't think lying is it, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know people lying annoys me to the highest. Like, yeah.
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 But this was a
good. It really was.
It was a wonderful game. So lovely people, beautiful people, you are there. Let us know in the comments. Answer these questions in the comments, right? So what makes you happy? What makes you truly happy? And answer it honestly. What's your favorite book? Your favorite book that you have ever read? Is it Hansel and Gretel? Cinderella? I don't know. You put it down in the comments. We want to read your comments, right?
What's yours, Terrie-Ann? What's your favorite book?
The Bible. It may sound cliche.
Okay.
But it's a Bible. I read a lot of books. I've read a lot of books. I'm still reading books. I'm still endeavor to read books, but the Bible.
Nice.
Yeah. Let me continue with the questions. How do you deal with fear? How do I deal with fear? I face my fears after I probably would have told myself I'm procrastinated. I told myself I can't. And then you know what? Terrie-Ann, you could. And I just face it. That's how I face my fear. I answered no, I didn't answer that question. When was the last time I cried? When is the last time you cried? Put it in the comments. I cried like 2 Sundays ago. I was in church and the pastor prayed for me and I cried. My pet peeve, yeah, I answered that. I can't stand to see people spit in public. How good are you at keeping secrets? I'm not very good at keeping secrets. I wouldn't spread your secret around, but probably I'm gonna mention it to my husband.
But is it telling a secret if you tell it to your husband?
My husband doesn't tell nobody else. He's very good at keeping secrets, so I know it's safe with him, right? So, consumerism or minimalism, you can put that in the comments. For me, I was a consumerism, but now I am a minimalism. Is that an answer? Minimalism.
It is.
Do you have any regrets? Yes, I do. What's your go-to comfort food? I don't really have one. I don't really have a favorite food, but I know I love oil, but it's not my go-to comfort food.
Okay.
My definition of adventure, family, fun, family and fun.
Right.
Yeah. And how do people describe me? How people describe you? Put that in the comments. Jovial.
Definitely.
Encouraging, inspiring. Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
So guys, we just want to thank you for playing this game with us. We will be right back because we will be taking a word from our sponsors today. See you.
Excelsior is a finance coaching and micro business consulting company established to facilitate the creation of personal wealth through the practice of financial management disciplines and business creation. We personalize experiences by offering a suite of tailored services which would enable persons to achieve both their financial and business goals. We are inspired when you advance financially.
At Terrie-Ann, we create beautiful, stylish, and vibrant head wraps to help women feel confident and express their style and their vibe. We teach women how to style their head wraps confidently for every and any occasion. You can find us on our Facebook page at Terrie-Ann and also on our Instagram page at Terrie-Ann_. Our telephone number is 537-2384.
Welcome back, lovely ladies and guys, if you're on with us. So we're going to jump straight into our topic today. As we mentioned earlier, we're doing unlocking your rest. And for the show, the working definition of rest we'll be using is rest being the renewal of depleted physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual reserve. I know it's natural to think when you hear rest, you think sleep. But do you know that rest and sleep are different? Terry, did you know that?
I had no idea that they were until I started to do my research for this episode.
They really are, because we know what sleep is. You lie down and you clock out and then you wake up again, right? Of course, there are scientific definitions with where the brain restores itself and you go into all the drama that we are not technical on. But rest is different. Have you ever known of people who, it may have happened to you, where you sleep and you're tired? You sleep 8 hours, you wake up tired. You sleep 3 hours, you wake up tired. You take a nap during the day, you wake up tired. And you're just going about your daily lives, just tired. And you're thinking sleep is what the issue is, but it's actually rest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then based on the definition that we're using, where it's a renewal of depleted physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual reserve, this points to 4 different areas that you could be depleted in your energy that could cause you to be feeling tired all of the time. Yeah, so Terrie-Ann, you have any take on this?
Yeah, well, what I want to say too as well, I just wanted to point this in that added to the definition for rest, which ceases work or movement to relax, refresh oneself, or to recover strength. That is the definition I had. But one of the things that I wanted to point out from this definition, which says refresh one's self. So which means that you could be giving as an individual, and if you're not pouring into yourself or refueling yourself, your energy, or refueling that thing that you keep giving out, then there are going to be a point in time when you have no more energy to give or nothing else to give, and you're just running on E, as people run on E. I don't know, it's a saying. Yeah. And you burn out, tired.
Do you think that's where the self-care movement began? Do you think that? Yeah,
I think so.
I believe so too. I believe so too. Yeah. So then that means rest is very important to us.
Extremely important, especially for women like myself and yourself and every other woman. I would encourage rest every day because it is important.
So understanding now that rest and sleep are different, and there's the whole self-care movement and all of that, I'm pretty sure that there should be major benefits to it. If we go back to the example of people who sleep so much and still feel tired, then if rest is that important, then there should be some kind of benefits that we could look forward to. And then we probably have people who is like, okay, I hear y'all talking about rest, but you gave a definition, but what really is it? How do I rest? What does it look like? I mean, what's the benefit to it? Like, I'm hearing you, but can't I just go to sleep and fix my problem?
Well, we're going to talk about, like, let's talk about the benefits of rest first. And when I was doing my research, I saw that there are a lot of benefits, which actually brings us to health benefits. And we have to be, in order for us to be doing and going and being busy all the time, we also have to be healthy in order to do that, right? As women. And I'm focusing on women because our audience, the majority of our audience right here, right now, are women. So it boosts your immune system. If
Mm-hmm.
you are restful, it's obviously you won't get a cold, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It improves your memory. If you are restful, you would remember things. You won't keep forgetting. You won't forget your key. Reach by
Mm-hmm.
your car and forget your key on your kitchen counter.
Right.
I just giving a simple example. It
Mm-hmm.
restores and it energizes you. It gives you that boost of energy. You
Mm-hmm.
won't wake up in the morning and still feel tired if you are restful, right? It stimulates your creativity. And I could attest to that because when I am drained and I do not know how to or what to think or what's the next step to move in terms of my creativity, and I take like a power nap, then when I wake up, then I feel better. Or I eliminate myself from my phone and I just sit still and I be quiet, reflect, journal, and we'll be talking all about that later on.
Mm-hmm.
It boosts your energy. What I love about this is that it gives you a peace of mind, and it also reduces anxiety and stress. Rest brings out your creativity, it brings out restoration, it brings out your courage, it helps you to be articulate,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you better clarity, you understand things better. So rest is important for us as women.
As you mentioned, restoration. In something I was reading or listening to, I like that the speaker alluded to the fact that rest could be short for restoration. And I find that to be true because some of the things that I do as my self-care routine are actually things that could be deemed as practicing restfulness. So I remember at one point I felt very stressed, especially during COVID and the transition to work from home. And it felt like there were no boundaries, like the lines between work and home and myself were blurred. So
Yes.
I would wake up at 7 a.m. and I go straight to work. And at 10, when I want to take a break to refresh myself, then I would be having meetings. And then at 7 p.m., when I should be relaxing with my husband or spending time with my family, I find that I'm still working. So there was no off button. And I felt myself becoming anxious. And anxiety was never something I could say that I've actually experienced. But from speaking to my team members, I realized I understood what anxiety was from speaking to them because we had to do all these sessions about mindfulness and all of that. And I found myself at midnight, 1 a.m., not being able to sleep because my mind is going with, okay, so I left this undone, or I didn't get a time to shut down the computer because something was, and I felt like I could feel the blood running through my body, if that makes sense. I felt
Yes.
so on edge, and my hair would hurt me, not my head, like my hair would hurt, and it it felt it felt really weird. And eventually, what I started doing, I on weekends I would turn my phone off. I don't ever turn my phone off. Okay,
Mm,
my phone is always with me, but I would literally click the off button. I don't even
mm.
know if I knew how the off button worked, and then I started um finding joy and stillness. So
Yes.
I remember I would just lay on the ground and listen to myself breathe. And I would
Yeah.
practice this thing where I would try to listen to songs far off. So I would
Yeah.
hear the songs in the home and zone them out. And then I'm able to identify there's a car outside passing. And then I would hear a bird. And then I realized there's a saw drilling, like maybe like 10 houses down. So it made me focus on different things, and I found solace in that. And that's when I think I valued stillness and quietness a lot. And
Mm.
whenever I feel like I'm becoming anxious, I know what to do because I've practiced what I now know is rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you said that because I am the type of person who always think I have to be busy. So I am afraid to rest. I'm not afraid to sleep. I'm a sleeper,
Right.
right? I'm a night person. My
Mm-hmm.
husband can attest to that. The moment time I hit my head down on the pillow, it's like sleep time, right? I am very easy to fall asleep. But during the day, it's hard for me to rest, to pause, to stop,
Mm-hmm.
to take that time and reflect. And we are talking about rest, unlocking your rest, and this is so up my alley, and I am so happy because
Mm-hmm.
we are doing this because I do not know how to do that. Because I thought that rest and sleep is the same thing. If I get enough sleep, then I'm restful and I can do things.
Mm-hmm.
But then now I'm thinking, no, it's way more than that. And I think what has happened throughout the years, especially now that we are in the technology age, is that so much things now is grabbing for our attention.
Mm-hmm.
Everything like on our phones, on the laptop, we have to do this. And then I work from home. So I have to think about now doing this for my family, doing this for work, doing that. And I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes being busy is not enough because you're so tired after the end of the day that you have no time to reflect on things you do in the day. Or sometimes before you even fall asleep, is that you're trying to think about what you're going to do for the next day. So I am so happy that we're doing this. And I have to teach myself, ladies, for those of you who can relate to me, well, relate to what I'm saying is that we have now have to teach ourselves how to rest. And remember, rest and sleep is not the same thing.
And additionally, I mean, teaching yourself is one thing. That's knowing it, but practicing it is something else as well. Because while I was able to uncover some aspects of rest, being on my own, I can't tell you that I practice it all the time. I recently started doing Pilates, right? And I forgot that that was a workout routine I loved. But why I love it most is because it makes you slow down. So it makes you be in the moment. So you're not just working out because you have to. You have to focus on how you're breathing. You take slow, calculated movements. So it like in the morning, before I get into okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to call this person, I have to set this meeting, I have to run here. It's like I go,
Yes.
and then I'm able to think clearly and strategize my day. And I found that I enjoy doing it because it forces me to slow down as opposed to having the wheels constantly going in your head about this needs to get done, this needs to get done. And something else that you said is the doing. Listen, we could get so caught up in doing things, like we jump from one thing to the other. We're busy with this, we're busy with that. If we ever find a free hour where we're not occupied, we kind of get like, okay, I need to find something to do. We don't value the moments of just stillness. And
Mm.
the thing is, it's a term I've heard within the last 4 or so years a lot. It's we are human beings and not human doings. So
Yeah.
our focus should be mostly in being than doing things. What do I mean? In being a mother, so you value the time you have with
Yeah.
Isabella. In being a wife, so you take you place a lot of intent and value in being a wife or being in the moment in relationships, as opposed to just, okay, I need to run here and do this. Tomorrow is date night. I need to run and do this. Value the time. Slow things down, because like you said, in an age where technology is rampant and we have sensory overload and everything shortens, you realize, no, we had lives like Facebook and Instagram lives. Now we have reels
Yeah.
and TikToks, and everything is dumbed down to 60 to 30 seconds. So we have this kind of quick fix mentality where it needs to get done. No, no, no. And we
Yeah.
don't take time to just reel it in and enjoy moments.
That's true. I love that you said enjoy moments because
Mm.
we are so caught up in the everyday life that we
Mhm.
forget that in those everyday lives, there are different moments that we need to cherish, that we need to enjoy, that we need
Mhm.
to be a part of.
So let me ask you a question then, to cause you to think. Could you tell me something about yesterday that happened that you really enjoyed? Like a moment in yesterday that stood out.
A moment in yesterday that stood out to me. Oh, what was that? A lot of things happened in yesterday. Yesterday, one of the things, right? So one of the things that stood out to me was me making a phone call to a particular person, and they actually gave me some stuff to do for that. But that was work, right? That was work related.
I feel like it's
So,
sounding like work.
but it stood out to me because yeah. Oh, okay. So me, I was, well, it's still work. I was creating something, and I never knew I could have done it, so that stood out to me. But it was work related. I can't
Did you
remember anything
you can't
else
remember?
because
Okay, so let me tell you
I
what
was
stood out.
young. I was
Let me tell
busy.
you, let me let me tell you what stood out to me, and maybe that may trigger a memory for you. So um my husband and I schedule a date night because we could get so busy that we forget to have valuable moments together.
Mhm.
Okay. So it was date night. And what stood out was we were both in the kitchen making pizza together and laughing at it. Like
Right.
like having conversation and having jokes in the middle of it.
That's
And
amazing.
and then we have inside jokes, obviously. In all relationships, there are inside jokes. But
Yeah.
it just stood out mostly because I could say one word where in a public setting it means nothing, but to
Yeah.
him it sends him into stitches of laughter. And that stood out to me. And it
That's
stood out mostly because I felt like I had so much work to do that I
mhm.
almost wanted to tell him, let's do it another night.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I didn't do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. So you remember, or you still have you're
I don't
still
have no
stuck.
moment.
You don't have the.
I
I'm pretty
think
sure
I
you had a moment.
I think that my moment is dropping my daughter off to school, as you said that. Dropping my daughter off to school, telling her how much I love her, have a great day, enjoy her day. Remember, God loves you. I cherish those moments. I enjoy the fact that
See,
we could actually drop her off to school
that's
and
so
tell her
beautiful.
that she's amazing and she's beautiful. Don't take other people's opinion to heart. Don't bother with the other children who tries to be bullies. Keep
Hmm.
your head up. If you don't understand, tell the teacher you don't understand.
Right.
Ask Jesus for help. Say, Jesus, can you help me now? I tell her all these things, and I think, yeah, that's a moment for me. I love that.
See, you found one. So that was a beautiful moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think if we hang on to those, sometimes it could, especially at times when we probably need to take a break from the hecticness, if that's a word, of the day. It could help us kind of get a little bit grounded,
yeah,
and then we get a boost of energy to go on again for the day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things, as you said that, and the moments, it just had me thinking of, sometimes what we think or what we take, let's just say for granted, is what people really want out of us. So I just want to
Mhm.
share this that I remember my daughter. She loves moments, like you just said. She loves when we are wrong. She loved when we doing things with her and so on. And there was this particular time when she was like, mommy, being a mom is so stressful. She told me that. I
Wow.
was like, what do you mean, being a mom? It's so stressful. She said, because you always have to be doing this and doing that. And I know it can be stressful having kids. And that I didn't know how to answer, but I said, baby, it's okay, mom, you can handle it. But then as you're talking there, now I'm remembering, like, they're looking on.
Of
They're
course.
imitators. They're looking on and they're seeing things. And
Mm-hmm.
if we don't stop as moms to really enjoy those moments, Lord, I don't want to cry, but
Don't.
enjoy those moments with our kids, they will grow up to remember is that mommy worked so hard,
Right.
but she never spent time with me. She was
So
never there. And right now, in this day and age, children very bold to say these things to you and say
mm-hmm.
to your face, and it may come across as an insult,
Mm-hmm.
but it's truth and it's fact. So please, women, enjoy the moments. Enjoy them.
And as you're saying that, what I'm hearing is that rest is not only beneficial to you, but it benefits the people closest to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seems like it could put you in a better mood as well, and you could be. So you see, we undervalue rest.
Yeah. We undervalue it very much.
These are beautiful shares. Okay,
Mm.
let's get off the emo. We don't want anybody to cry. We don't want to burst
I
into
don't want to
tears here.
cry. I don't want to mess up my mascara. One of the things that I wanted to talk about as well before we move on is that there are fear. Well, maybe we can make it a thing. The fears of not resting, and it's like falling behind, and that's me. Like, I want to be on top of things, and you
Yeah,
probably could attest to that. You have
yeah.
deadlines. You want to get that contract out because you have this particular
Mhm.
deadline. Letting people down because you have this deadline. You don't want to disappoint your client. You don't
Right.
want to let them down. So you have to push, and you keep pushing, and you keep being busy, and then coming face to face with ourselves. It's like it's like when I hear people say, oh, they could go away for themselves, do solo vacations, they could go to a restaurant by themselves, they could do things by themselves. It's like, I can't do that. My husband must be with me, or my daughter must be with me, or must be with somebody. But it also shows that doing those things is also a part of rest, you know?
Yes, yes, because as you said that, and I guess that could be one of the ways. Because in between all we're saying, I want you guys to fight to pull out the takeaways, like ways you could actually rest.
Yes.
One of the things that I used to do from since I was a little girl and I grew up, I started in the Dear Diary days, and now I journal. And I find that if a couple days have passed, then I need to have a check-in with myself, so to speak. So I journal to kind of detox from anything that's stressful, to get creative, get ideas, and journaling could be a way to rest. Um, as Terry was speaking, rest. And when I'm saying rest, I want you to think of self-care as well, because self-care may be something that people may be able to identify more than rest. Is that it helps you to be more in touch and with you and be self-aware. Because let me tell you, facing yourself is not always easy. And I credit people who are able to face themselves. There are lots of people who avoid rest because they know the triggers that could happen if they are left to deal with themselves in a moment of rest. And that's something
Correct.
that could possibly keep people going, 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 as opposed to just taking a break and getting in touch with you, like the inner you. Yeah. And as you said, like you mentioned, work. I know, especially when if you're an entrepreneur, it's even more difficult because it's you alone. I remember it wasn't that long ago, could have been about 3 weeks ago. I felt completely overwhelmed because when I looked forward at the things I had to do and the deadlines, listen, Terrie-Ann, I just wanted to stay in the bed and sleep because I
Yeah.
could not fathom how I could have gotten these things done in the time frame that I had. And
Yeah.
just a pointer that could help us, understand the rest of it is I found my moment with God. I realized, okay, the workout was fine, the journaling was fine. That did not solve the problem. Okay. Yeah, my body felt relaxed, but my mind was still going. And I honestly, seriously spent some time with God. I got in a quiet place and I put on my worship music. I prayed and I decided, as much as my mind was telling me, you can't stay here too long, get up and go. I said, shut up, mind. And I kind of zoned myself out and I decided I was going to be intentional, even if it was going, I think I decided I was going to spend an hour. And it
Yeah.
started off like, um, 10 minutes, nothing. 20 minutes,
Yeah.
much things that could I get done. But I was
Yeah.
intentional and I sat there. I read my Bible. I started thinking, trying to listen in to hear what God was saying to me. And do you know, at the end of my time, something that I was working on for the last 2 months, I got it done in 2 days.
Wow. Wow. Amazing, right?
Yeah, so there are benefits to resting, to taking a moment, taking a break, getting in touch with whether it be something physical, mental, spiritual.
Yeah.
There are benefits to it.
There are
Yeah.
benefits to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that
Yeah.
we have this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot.
I am.
Yeah.
I Yep.
So let me hear your take because I know for you you're operating two brands. You're a big picture thinker. You're always going. You love family. You value relationships and that kind of thing. Like,
Yes.
what does
Correct.
how has been, because you said you always thought of sleep, but now that you're understanding more about rest, are you seeing ways you could improve or things you could do differently? Or I don't know, share with us. Well,
I'm
what are
seeing
your
a lot
thoughts?
of ways. I'm seeing a lot of ways where I can improve as a person, individual,
Mm-hmm.
especially as being an entrepreneur, mom, trying to find balance. And that's something a lot of people ask. How do you balance it all, Terry? And it's like, I don't. I don't have no balance. I have harmony. I don't have balance. Harmony and balance sound so cute together. But one of the ways I definitely, two of the ways I know I definitely will do is I love coloring. And this is something I started, but I stopped because I thought I'm wasting time. So, which is why the thing that I said, the last point that I said, that we are afraid to face ourselves. Because for me, like if I'm in a quiet place, I think to myself, like a lot of things flood my mind. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And it's like a battle. So I'm battling in my mind between resting
Mm-hmm.
and finding that place to either go do something because I feel I have to be active and busy all the time. And one thing that I learned from something I was listening to um sometime where they said busy is it has two words. There's a Chinese meaning to busy, right? Be busy. The first part is heart, and then the second part is killing. So it could be heart killing, killing the heart, busy.
Mm-hmm.
So it affects us in ways, being busy affects us in different ways. For the good, busy, you're getting things done. Sometimes you get nothing done and you're still busy, but you keep going. So one of the things I know I would do is really slow down. Slow down. Find
Mm-hmm.
a point in the day where I slow down. We make a calendar, we say we're going to do this. So we have our set ourselves up from 7 to 6.
Right.
Every slot is filled. So there is going to be a point in that slot where I am going to slow down. Just the other day I was telling my husband, I need a day off. He was like, yes, yes. He was so excited I said that. And I told him we were going to go to the beach and we never went to the beach. I came home and I
Aw.
did well. Right? So so I would definitely slow down, definitely do things and do the things that I enjoy doing. So remember from that game earlier, asking you what you truly enjoy. I truly enjoy baking. I truly enjoy cooking. So I'll try cooking new meals, try baking something, and just stay in that moment. stay in that time and enjoy it and to do it with my family. I enjoy coloring. I enjoy, um, being creative. So I'll find something to do and do that as well.
You said a lot that had me thinking. So first of all, you said you enjoy coloring. Something I do, and I like you, I thought it was wasting time. When I was little, I liked doing puzzles with my mom. My mom
Yeah,
always used to go sit in a corner and have her puzzle book. And me looking at her, I thought this was so cool and adult. I always wanted puzzle books, like word search puzzles, right? So even though if I go into a store and I see word searches, I would buy them, right? And I had not had one in years. And I think it was a year or two ago, I went into a store and I saw and I bought it. So ever so often, if I'm working and I turn to my shelf on the corner here and I see my puzzle book, I will pull it out. And I'm adamant I'm not going back to work until I finish this entire puzzle. And sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, Denisha, you're wasting time. But it relaxes me.
yeah, it
It
does.
really
Coloring,
does.
yeah,
And then something else I think we need to pay attention to. You see, when our families, like those closest to us in our circle, so I'm not even thinking extended, like those in our household, make
yeah,
remarks that could trigger us, it's
yeah,
time for us to step back and think. So you see how excited your husband got about you
yeah,
taking a day off? It
yeah,
could be a way for you to say, maybe I really was working too much.
yeah,
I remember there was a day too, my husband came to me and I took a break. When he came home, I asked him how his day was. We had our conversation and all of that, and he wanted me to stay and talk. And I'm like, I can't, I have to go, I have stuff to do.
yeah,
And then he said to me, you're working too much. And I was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but that I feel like that's an indicator that okay, you need to strike a balance. And I
yeah,
think that's important. Where rest is concerned, we need to be able to establish balance and create
balance,
boundaries in areas so that the people closest to us do not feel alienated because we're so busy doing things as opposed to being who we are with them.
wow. You speak
Yeah.
up. I love that.
You spoke a book. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
fluffed
You
the
know what?
words.
You know what I was thinking is just that we just need to be for a moment. There is a scripture that says, "Be still."
Yeah.
I just put in dot dot dot. Be still, and then it says, "I know that I am God." Do we know God? Sometimes we think to ourselves that we know Him because He blesses us with something that we are prayed for.
Hmm.
But do we really know God?
Right.
And this is why he says to be still, because he wants to reveal himself to us. But he can't because we are so busy. And the Lord has spoken to me, and probably might be going off, but the Lord has spoken to me a lot about slowing down. And I'm being disobedient because I thinking to myself, I have to keep doing. I said, God, if I don't do this, then who will do it? You know what I mean? But we have to be still.
This leads me, like you say, I feel like I'm running away with the topic, but it leads me into a story, right?
Yeah.
Um, I could get animated, but I'll just keep this one a little mellow.
Yeah.
So the story goes that Jesus and his disciples decided to go into a boat to go across the sea, the lake or whatever, to go
Yeah.
to the other side to handle some stuff. And while they were on there, just to back up, before they decided, Jesus was dealing with thousands of people and all of that. And then he stole away, they went to the other side where it was more quiet.
Mm.
And on that journey, he slept in the boat, right?
Yeah.
Now we know we spoke about sleep not being equal to rest, but that doesn't mean that sleep is not a part of resting, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
he was doing the physical, mental, social rest because he was away from people. His mind had shut down. If we know Jesus, he probably prayed a bit, so he had the spiritual stuff. And then a storm came and he
Yeah.
was still asleep. And the disciples woke him up and, Master, don't you care that we're about to die? And he spoke to the sea, the wind, and told the storm to be quiet. And then he looked at disciples and were like, really? You still ain't got faith after all of this?
Yeah.
And it makes me think about the stillness that you were speaking about, that even in the midst of a raging storm, Jesus was able to still find rest.
Yeah.
And I think we think that I don't know if we're trying to prove something. It could be that deep down somewhere we're trying to prove something, but if God, who is God in the form of Jesus, is able to find stillness in chaos, shouldn't we be able to emulate that too and find some peace and quiet, even when things seem a lot around us?
Yeah.
It really does cause you to ask yourself some questions, and
Yeah.
and kind of restructure our priorities and ensure that what should be first is first, and we have things in the correct order.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
yeah.
And as you were speaking there, as we get ready to close, on our path to success, we are going to be successful in the eyes of man, successful in the eyes of the world, but we are doing ourselves more harm than good because we keep going, and because we want to be successful, which is very good. Being successful is very good. We spoke that over you last week,
Yes.
that success and everything like that from the word of God. But we have to be very mindful that on our way, on our road, on our journey to success, that we are also taking time
Mhm.
to rest.
Yeah. As you said, that just my final point before we go into from the listeners. I was on a call a few weeks ago, and something that the person in charge of the call, the host, was saying that kind of had me thinking, and it wasn't something new, but it just stayed with me. Says any success where God is not in it is failure.
Yeah,
And I thought it was true, and I thought it was something to remember, because we could get so caught up in trying to accomplish our own goals that unbeknownst to us we leave God out of the equation, and that's not what he wants. He wants us to have good success, and good success is God's success.
beautiful.
Mhm.
My last point, rest needs to be fought for. You have to fight for it. You have to be intentional. Denisha spoke about it earlier. You have to be intentional about your rest. If you are not intentional about your rest, you are not going to rest, because
Mhm.
all you see before you is, I have this to do, that to do, the other to do. So rest needs to be fought for. And I want to encourage you to fight, be intentional about your rest as you go throughout the rest of the week, and as you enter into a new week, as actually we entering into a new month as well. So make the month of March be your month of rest.
Okay,
So we love you, we love you, we love you. So let's
that
go
was
ahead and
beautiful.
confirm them from the
Okay,
word of God. So
okay.
I have Isaiah 26 verses 3, and it says, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 to 7, and this is a very known one. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer, we spoke about that as well, by prayer
Mhm.
and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your beautiful hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus.
So we just affirm you that your mind will be kept in perfect peace when you keep it stayed on Christ. And we affirm that the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and guard your mind. Thank you for listening to us. We love you
Thank you.
guys.
We love you. Take care of yourself. See you again next week, Wednesday.
Excelsior is a finance coaching and micro business consulting company established to facilitate the creation of personal wealth through the practice of financial management disciplines and business creation. We personalize experiences by offering a suite of tailored services which would enable persons to achieve both their financial and business goals. We are inspired when you advance financially.
At Terrie-Ann, we create beautiful, stylish, and vibrant head wraps to help women feel confident and express their style and their vibe. We teach women how to style their head wraps confidently for every and any occasion. You can find us on our Facebook page at Terrie-Ann and also on our Instagram page at Terrie-Ann_. Our telephone number is 537-2384.